Hello, folks, and welcome to the final game of the evening here on this Wednesday of the U15, U17 Nationals. We have Nova Scotia versus Manitoba in the U15 quarterfinals. I'm Philip Drost, joined by
Roger Drost, and if our last name sounds familiar,
that would be because last time I checked, you were my father.
Aha.
And that's not just a Star Wars quote, that's fact. We are here at the Richard J. Currie Center in Fredericton. Been some terrific basketball here today and throughout the week. And here's another great matchup, Manitoba versus Nova Scotia, trying to make it to those semifinals. Sure to be an exciting game. If you'd like to reach out with the broadcast at any point, we'd love to hear from you. You can find me on Twitter at Phil Drost. That's PhilDrost. You can let me know who you're cheering for, where you're watching from, all that fun stuff.
First tweet gets a coffee.
You have to go a bit of a ways to get it, but
you show up in Fredericton, I'll buy you a coffee. No sweat. Got a lot of great coffee shops in town here.
Manitoba, chance at that very first bucket. Nice dump-off pass inside, puts it up and can't get it to go. Nova Scotia now going the other way. Break, puts it up, gets his own rebound. Three-pointer to start things off. Doesn't go and back the other way.
Somewhat common for the first few to bounce off the rim. Guys getting used to their range in here at the Richard J. Currie Center. Done a great job getting this gym ready for the National Championships for U15, U17 boys.
Dela Cruz unable to get that layup to go. Nova Scotia working things around. And Manitoba collects the board.
Another short-range miss. The guys kind of settle in. Last game we did was Alberta and BC U15. We barely had time to breathe. It was an incredibly fast-paced game. Lots of great D. Alberta coming out on top. This game here, looks like the boys are ready to run again too.
Wacko Tassima making that three-point attempt for Manitoba, giving them the early lead. Nova Scotia working the ball around. 5 on the shot clock, but foul on the baseline. Going to be no shot on that one.
Clearly looks like Nova Scotia's got a bit of a size advantage to start the game here.
Yeah, you mentioned that Alberta team had multiple guys over 6'6". It'd be a bit of a different game here.
Yeah, that ended up BC having to play an outside game. They just could not get a ball up in the first half against them.
Great cut there, wasn't able to finish. Another three-pointer on the way, hit his first, doesn't get the second to go. And on the ground, Nova Scotia comes up away with it.
Nova Scotia looking for their first bucket.
That one off the back of the rim. Good look. An illegal screen, that's going to go to Nova Scotia. Foul going against Michael Adebayi. Bounce pass, makes it in, reversed, and that three doesn't go.
We're going to see that number 10 score some threes yet. He sets up well. It's very square to the basket. He's taken that before. That was tipped. Must have come down on top of him.
Got him with a body afterwards.
Yep, not on the shot.
Ryan Malley picking up the foul there. 6'6" out of Nova Scotia.
One of the things that you and I noticed in the first game, we didn't even really notice the officials the entire game. Extremely well called game. I didn't hear a single chirp from anybody that entire 40 minutes. It was rather impressive.
Yeah, these are some of the, not only do we have some of the best players from across the province or across the country, we have some of the best officials from across the country. Putback doesn't go. Offensive rebound extends the lead to 5.
Nova Scotia giving up a couple of offensive rebounds there.
Good
Find
press
themselves
fake.
down 5-0. Guess who's set up for the...
And he made the 3, but had his feet on the out-of-bounds line. We've seen that a few times today.
Clearly this guy is their sharpshooter. Make absolutely no mistake about it. That's his third three-point attempt, so you know that he's used to making that. Brandon McVicker. A few guys the last game ended up putting their heels out of bounds as well. Had 3 calls, I think, in the first half, and then not again.
And great drive to the rim, just doesn't go, but out of bounds off of Ryan Malloy. And ball was inbounded, but no one there to catch it, and that goes out of bounds. Nothing here early on. Pressure from Manitoba. Nice spin move, great feed, and good 2 points.
Yeah, terrifically done. Ryan Malloy standing in the right place at the right time, got himself clear, took that pass, gently lays it in. Well done.
Dela Cruz handling it, kicks it out. 3-pointer on the way, that one doesn't go. Chasing down the boards is Manitoba, and they'll be rewarded with some free throws. Braden McVicker picking up that foul. Braden Moya getting the free throws here. So Nova Scotia, both teams still trying to find that rhythm here. Nova Scotia's going to go into the post, and that shot rejected. Thinking about the 3, drive baseline.
Boy, he got rid of that quick.
Very quick shot, put back, doesn't go. All sorts of hands in there, and somehow Nova Scotia able to put it up and in.
Manitoba giving up a bunch of offensive rebounds.
And that's going to be a foul, a little bit too much with the body on that. Kyle Monroe picking the foul up. Manitoba working the ball around now, 3-pointer. Off the fingertips of Nova Scotia. Tough break there, Jalen James trying to grab the board, couldn't get his full hands on it. And another baseline inbounds, almost lost, but great drive to the rim and found that seam.
I felt like there might have been a missed shot clock reset on that one. They had tons of time.
And another shot rejected inside. A lot of speed coming from Manitoba on that break. Good job by Nova Scotia to get back. And another drive, that one no good.
A lot of hands are getting on these passes. Nova Scotia with a block there as well.
Turnover there. That's going to go back to Manitoba. 8-4 here. Halfway through quarter number 1.
That's an inbound mistake again by Manitoba. They're challenged with that right now. That's a third inbound that's been misdirected.
2 resulting in turnovers here early on. Quarterfinal game at the Richard J. Curry Center. Winner goes on to play, I believe, the winner of Quebec and Newfoundland. Great drive and just the right amount of English to get that in. And steal off the inbounds, another inbounding turnover. Ball moved around here.
He's a shooter, see if he gets free again.
And drive to the rim, doesn't go. Manitoba going the other way, pushing it. Ball in the corner, going to the post. And that 3 is good. 11-6 here, 4:03 left in the quarter.
Great move, great move.
And he earned the 2 free throws.
Jackson McKinnon made a great drive to the basket there.
Foul going on Zarek Menard for Manitoba. His first. And McKinnon goes 1 of 2 from the line.
Gets his rebound.
0 of 2. De La Cruz on the break, but hits the feet of McKinnon. De La Cruz now. Some strong half-court defense from both teams so far.
Struggling to score both ends of the floor. Both teams are not really finding their groove yet. Haven't seen much of a half-court offense.
De La Cruz trying to find an opening. Can't get that up and over.
None of his teammates came to help him out.
Some stifling defense there from Manitoba. Almost forced a steal. Gets the steal here. Fumbling with it now, going towards the hoop, and some frantic play. Going back to Nova Scotia. And just a little too hurried on that one. Had the time. But that's what tough defenses will do to you. Get in your head, and nice spin move there.
Manitoba just getting their shots to drop. That's a difference in this first quarter so far. Nova Scotia getting to the rim, but just not able to get the ball down.
Manitoba running a good trap.
There's a piece of that.
Manitoba coach very happy with his team on that possession. 3-pointer now, and they get rewarded. 10-point lead now. Manitoba's picked up the intensity, it seems like. And they're getting rewarded for it. some confusion on the defense there. It sounds like Nova Scotia felt like Manitoba was playing a zone. Now, I don't know if there's rules against that in FIBA basketball.
Oh, I thought he was given instructions for the team to sit. The team had gotten up off the bench and were congratulating their teammate on a good defensive play, and I think the referees were instructing them to sit.
I heard the Nova Scotia coach asking questions. But we'll see. I don't know. I'll put that out to the listeners there. Is there a FIBA rule about zone defenses? Not one I'm aware of. But please send me a tweet at Phil Drost, PhilDrost. Love hearing from you guys. Sure, we got lots of people watching tonight. I mean, this is better than any primetime television I can think of. Some great summer basketball.
Well, what do you got on primetime television? Love Island and 90 Day Fiancé?
Okay, so it's not better. No, I'm just kidding.
Apologies to the networks there, but.
And a deep three. Rebound by Nova Scotia.
Great idea.
Very active defense here. Running in transition, and that's good. From what we've seen today, teams that are able to score in transition, turn that defense into offense, have been the teams that have been successful. Three-pointer now. That's good. You called it. You said he was going to splash one home, and he did just that. Oh, and that shot rejected and off of his fingertips. That will go to the boys in white and blue.
Ryan Malloy is playing extremely well on both ends of the court, getting involved in the offensive and defensive rebounds, making good plays on the block shot. You guys get lots of energy.
Nova Scotia wonder it. Now they got another three-point attempt. That doesn't go.
They missed him. Ryan, he was open on the right-hand side, and they elected to pass the ball to the three-point shooter, but Ryan was wide open there for an easy lay-in if they had saw him.
7-point game. 33 seconds left in the quarter. Dela Cruz, nothing but mesh.
Dela Cruz with a tremendous amount of energy on defense.
Just a second difference between game clock and shot clock. Offensive rebound, and was out of bounds. 9-point game, 7.7 left to go in the first quarter. Dela Cruz pushing it now in the corner, and out of bounds again. On the sideline, this gym just feeling a little small for players. So 0.5, not much time for a shot, and that's what we'll get. So quarter into this one, and Manitoba leads 20-11. Strong quarter from Manitoba, keeping up that defensive pressure and able to get that 9-point lead.
Yeah, that's a well-played first quarter by Manitoba. And like Philip said, a tremendous amount of defense. Manitoba just stifling, getting their hands in passing lanes, stealing balls, crawling on the floor. And the other part of the quarter is that Nova Scotia was challenged to get the ball through the hoop. They had some good open looks down low, and they just weren't able to get that ball to go. Similar thing happened in the game before. We noticed teams just got unlucky with the basketball off the rim. But 9 points with only one quarter down, certainly not a reason to panic. Nova Scotia's got some shooters that can certainly turn this around for them. But they're going to want to do it in the next quarter. They're going to want to cut this closer.
Chance to look at some of the statistics from that first quarter rather. Rebounding numbers quite similar. 13 rebounds from Nova Scotia to 15 from Manitoba. It was Wako Tassima leading the way for Manitoba. He's got 8 points on 3 of 5 shooting. Knocked down 2 3-pointers so far, so strong showing from him so far. And then leading the way for Nova Scotia, Braden McVicker. He has 5 points. So sure to be exciting second quarter. As you said, certainly 9 points with 3 quarters left is not really in today's game, not really a huge lead.
Yeah, and it's likely not the first time this U15 team has been down 9 points. I don't see any panic in their eyes. Just both teams fairly well disciplined, working the ball around. It's one of the first mid-rangers we've seen in this game. Either they've been layups or 3-pointers.
And 3-pointer there, that's good. Big time 3.
Right, Malloy.
Braden McVicker knocking it down. He's got the jump shot, that's for sure.
Yeah, McVicker set up really, I think, 2 or 3 times in a row in the first quarter, and you knew that he was one of the shooters on the team. Clearly he is, and he's a guy to get them back into this.
Four seconds on the shot clock, had to put it up. Nova Scotia grabs the board. Cut off baseline. That's going to be a football. (20-14). Manitoba leads Nova Scotia by 6. And that ball tipped out of bounds. Nova Scotia working the ball around here. Drive to the rim, tough defense. Offensive board, that's put back up, and tough miss on that one.
Yeah, part of this first quarter being repeated here, just getting to the rim, getting good opportunities, and the ball just not going down.
And as a coach, you're happy because you're seeing your team get those good looks, but as a player, it's just so frustrating to miss those shots you know you can hit. Good hands there. Nova Scotia now going the other way. Power dribble, puts it up. And another
just
shot
struggling.
at it, just like a lid's on top of that basket. So 8:24 left in the first half. Nova Scotia running a full court pressure there. Backed off once they knew Manitoba had handled the ball. And that one tipped off. He read that passing lane going at the rim, and he's going to get a chance at 2 free throws. A foul putting Jalen Janes at the free throw line. for his first free throws this game. Nova Scotia only shot 2 shots from the free throw line in the first quarter. And so did Manitoba. So not a lot of trips to the free throw line so far this game.
Am I giving away that coffee yet, Philip?
You have not. No one yet to reach out this game. You can send me a note on Twitter to let me know who you're cheering for, where you're watching from, what you think of the game or broadcast so far. Anything you want, really. And I guess Roger Drost here is offering a free coffee to the first person who tweets in and drives to New Brunswick, to Fredericton.
They can fly.
Visit. Yeah.
They want to fly.
Yeah, they can fly. What about boat? Is boat acceptable?
So there are guys that have done that, taken a canoe from the Fraser River all the way down to the Mississippi out into the Gulf of Mexico. But it's taken quite a long time and a significant amount of effort. In fact, I watched a documentary on someone that canoed from the Gulf of Mexico all the way to up the Fraser River. It's quite an experience.
That is tantalizing.
Yes. Because you're going against the current the whole way. Well,
free throw goes down for Kirk Klein. 5-point game. Nova Scotia battling back here. De La Cruz.
a lot of dribbling.
And Klein just a little too tempted to reach on that dribble. Tends to happen sometimes when you've got a player dribbling so much, you just think, you know what, this is my chance. And that ball tipped off the inbounds, and he's fouled right in front of the ref. Nova Scotia putting their foot down here.
Ooh.
2 shots and possession, calling a clear path foul. So great steal there for Nova Scotia. Could be a big swing if they utilize this correctly.
Agreed.
Klein, who got the steal, knocks down both free throws.
You know, again, the second part of that first quarter, Manitoba went on a run and seemed to be in control. We know that's never the case in the first quarter, but it seemed that way. And Nova Scotia just kept grinding away and continuing to do the things that we had success with. And here they are just really down a basket. Momentum has swung.
Dump off pass.
It did touch, but...
And that's going to stay with Nova Scotia. Manitoba seems to think that it's going their way, but it seems like it's still Nova. Oh, nope, it's not.
No, I didn't have it as...
I was confused by the referee hand signals. So still, so it is Nova Scotia ball.
You were right, as per usual.
Every once in a while, I pay attention to something. And
you nailed that one.
And now a question here from the head coach of Manitoba, talking to the referee. Now the referee's having a conversation there.
I'm wondering if it's a shot clock conversation.
And you got it. Adjustment of the shot clock there, put it down to 7. So 7 seconds here for Nova Scotia to get a shot off. They get one, and they bank it in. So that steal gave Nova Scotia 5 points.
Yeah, the bank of Nova Scotia. And another steal.
And a steal right back. Didn't have any place to pass it.
But here you go. We got a tie game. 7:06 left in the second quarter.
Thought about the three. Going to take the mid-ranger instead. Seemed like a good decision. He swishes that one.
Great mid-ranger. Good decision from a guy that can shoot. Well done for Manitoba.
Pass inside. A lot of bodies in there, and wow, that rolled all around the rim.
It hit 100% of that rim.
The ball saved. Another missed opportunity inside. And the little floater doesn't go. So tough time just getting simple shots to fall here. Shots these teams are more than capable of making, just rolling around and out.
Not a lot of fouls this quarter either. 2 fouls for Nova Scotia, 3 for Manitoba.
Nothing but net on that release. Menard at the line. He goes 1 of 2. Nova Scotia able to hold on to the rebound. 3-point game here.
He can
Quick
hit this.
three.
Brian McVicker, it can really rebound. He's got a 3 on.
That shot up. Malloy inside. Really hustling for it. And all sorts of hands touching that basketball, resulting in a 3-point attempt, and that's good. 6-point lead again for Manitoba.
Again, a lot of unfortunate circumstances for Nova Scotia, but Manitoba has a way of scoring in runs. Had a wide open man in the key and did not see him.
Malloy trying to hold on to it. Had to do a lot of moving there.
Yeah, played a little one-on-one there. A little frustrated because he was so wide open when Nova Scotia came down with the ball and just didn't even get a look.
And just like that, lead back up to 8. And Malloy, nice dish. And that was an excellently run press break. Chance to halt a bit of that Manitoba momentum. Dela Cruz now sees the lane.
Manitoba just getting more successful on the 50-50
great pass
balls.
there.
Nova Scotia got caught ball hawking there. They were watching the dribbler. Guys were getting open in the paint, accepting some really good passes.
And quick shot for Nova Scotia and back the other way. 3-pointer now, and that's good. That's our first double-digit lead of the game, and Nova Scotia calls a quick timeout. Chris Rayo wanting to talk things over.
Can't blame them. They just, you know, for all their best efforts, they just didn't get a reward out of a number of those plays just in the last few minutes. Has to be frustrating for the Nova Scotia team. Again, the story is a lot of those balls that they're putting up from point-blank range are just bouncing off the rim and out, not getting rewarded. And then Manitoba dribbling down the floor and getting some pretty slick, wide-open threes to kind of take the wind out of Nova Scotia's sails. They had it tied at 20-20. Since then, Manitoba's gone on a 13-2 run. And Nova Scotia just has not had an answer.
Yeah, frustrating. As you said, Nova Scotia had a number of shots that just kind of trickled out. Both teams kind of have had a little bit of trouble hitting those bunnies down low, but Manitoba making their opponents pay from deep, getting those three-pointers to drop. See if we can, we'll see if Nova Scotia tries a little bit more from the outside. They've had some success there. So 11-point game. 4:14 left in the first half. Nice drive at the rim, good fake, and that will be 2 points. Nice play there. And now great pass. Another one of those that just didn't drop, but great play to set it up. Trying to run the double screen there.
Oh, that's a foul. Maybe not.
McVicker passes it off. Three-pointer splashes in. Big bucket from Aiden Clark.
Critical bucket for Nova Scotia to keep themselves in this and not allowing Manitoba to increase this to a more than double-digit lead again.
Good defense on that shot, but Dela Cruz didn't care.
Well, they break in the press, so there he is again. He was wide open in the key. They didn't get the ball to him till late. At least he gets the score this time. But not seeing their teammates down in the key without anybody on them. They've got to do a little bit more work on being alert to that.
Dela Cruz passes it off. Look inside, but Malloy was ready for it. And they get the steal.
I see the ball going to McVicker this time down the floor. He's got it there, but I think he's going to set up again because they've gone inside a couple of times.
Malloy inside, puts it up, and he'll go to the free throw line.
They're going to earn their money with him and with McVicker on the outside. They've got to take that 1-2 punch with them.
Malloy with the most height on the floor tonight for this game, 6'6" from Nova Scotia.
Having a good game. Had some unfortunate opportunities missed.
So 6-point game. Hopefully still no tweets it, but hopefully last game for the first half our sound wasn't working. Hopefully that's not still the case. As much as I like talking to you, I'm hoping it's not just us talking to ourselves. And
it's feeling like it. Last game we got a couple of tweets at least, so it looked like the BC and the Alberta people were serious about their basketball. They were following their kids. Let's see if we can get some Nova Scotians and some Manitobans firing off some tweets to us. Tell us where you're tweeting from at Phil Drost, who you're watching. Maybe a story about the person you're watching.
Now Nova Scotia, a bit of a advantage here. Not too long of a drive to get to the Curry Centre, 4 hours, and they're here.
Unless you're from Cape Breton.
Then that's a bit of a trek.
Or Yarmouth.
And so Malloy at the free throw line. Knocking down that first, making it a 5-point game. Chance to cut it to 4. And banks it in. He goes 2 for 2. 4-point game now. Dela Cruz now going to the rim. Three-pointer wide open, and he splashes at home. He had lots of time.
Manitoba doing a really good job with some of these well-timed threes to take away some momentum from Nova Scotia.
And tough turnover there for Nova Scotia. Had a chance. Seven-point game, 2:01. In the quarter here. Ball inbounded. Nova Scotia's done a good job
9 on the shot clock.
Not letting Manitoba increase the run too much, but Manitoba likewise has staved off these Nova Scotia attacks, keeping a slight arm's length between them. 5-point game now, 138. Step back three. And
interesting, I almost could have predicted that they were going to shoot a three because Nova Scotia had kind of made a little run, and whatever that's happened in previous times during this game, Manitoba, there's a wide open guy again.
And foul inside. Nova Scotia now doing a good job with that press break, just passing it ahead and letting their athletes run. If you've got speed, that can work wonders when it's just a pressure and not a trap.
Nova Scotia taking advantage of the charity stripe. Hits the first one, down 6, 1:18 left in the half.
And that was good. Chance to check our first tweet of the game.
Coffee, coffee, coffee.
Kel saying, watching from Nova Scotia, my kids played against some of their players. Always fun to see some of the kids you've known from throughout the year playing on the big stage here. Basketball Nationals, always good to cheer on your province.
Well, Nova Scotia has had so much great success at this tournament over the years. Some just terrific basketball teams traveling to national tournament, coming away with big wins, always giving great competition to the big teams out of Quebec and Ontario.
And loose ball foul there. And as you mentioned, just some great progress coming from Nova Scotia. And this year, seeing one of their own signed a non-guaranteed contract with the Toronto Raptors, Lindell Wigington of Nova Scotia. Very talented basketball player. Will get to fight for a spot on the Toronto Raptors, the NBA champion Toronto Raptors, and exciting opportunity for him. 1 of 2 from the line, but offensive board.
He's ready for it.
Drive inside, puts it up. Nice move. Another one of those just not going in, but Nova Scotia fighting for the basketball here, and they've cut it to 2.
And it's just a testament to hard work and sticking with it. It's so much respect for these guys.
And poked away. Oh, and just went between his legs. 22 seconds left. 7-second game clock, shot clock difference. We'll get a timeout to Manitoba. But exciting basketball game here, not disappointing whatsoever.
Yeah, we've watched Manitoba go on a number of really crucial runs, and then a couple of really disappointing events for Nova Scotia, doing a great job scoring, getting the game close, and then Manitoba coming down and dropping a 3 like it's nothing. But yet, the Nova Scotia boys, the Blue Nosers, they've given it their all, and they're back within 2 points. Manitoba's possession with just a few seconds left in the quarter. But, you know, we often have talked about this when we've been broadcasting the AUS games, how important the beginning and the end of the quarters are, how critical they are for just creating momentum in the game, right?
Chance to check it on Twitter one more time before the end of the half. Kevin from Winnipeg cheering on Team Manitoba. And number 14, Ryan, he says you can give the coffee to him.
Okay.
Manitoba, chance to extend this lead a little bit. See what they drew up here. Dela Cruz with it. Driving baseline. Just unable to get it over Nova Scotia there.
16 seconds left in the quarter. Nova Scotia's going to want to end strong. I got a feeling Mavicker's going to set up for one. He subbed him into the game.
And puts up the layup. against the tough D and ties it up. And that will end the first half. Nova Scotia ties things up before we go to break. Tie ball game between Nova Scotia and Manitoba. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Hello, folks, and welcome to the second half of basketball. We've got Manitoba versus Nova Scotia. It's been an exciting game so far, tied 40-40. Chance to look at some of the stats from halftime. Leading the way in scoring for all scorers is Tassima with 16 points, shooting 6 of 10 from the field. For Nova Scotia, Jalen Janes has the most with 9. Now, the story for Manitoba, what's keeping them where they are, shooting 44% compared to the 31% Nova Scotia is shooting from the field. But defense has been a big part of this game, and Nova Scotia has been able to get 10 steals on 13 turnovers from Manitoba. So great defense coming there, great offense coming from Manitoba. It's going to be exciting to see how the rest of this game goes. I had a couple tweets in the first half. If you'd like to reach out, we'd love to hear from you. You can find me on Twitter at Phil Drost. That's PhilDrost. Love to hear from you. You can let me know who you're cheering for, where you're watching from, all that fun stuff, and enjoy this barn burner of a game.
Barn burner is actually a colloquialism about a Dutchman who once burned his barns to get rid of the infestation of rats. And it was quite exciting for his neighbors. So now any game that's exciting or event that's exciting is referred to as a barn burner. And we got one going on.
Getting rid of that rat infestation and knocking down those triples.
Okay.
That's what it was about, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just making sure.
So Nova Scotia, I could be corrected, but had their first lead of the game.
And just like that, taken away.
So I think Nova Scotia went down 3-0 to start this game and never led until that very point, just over 9 minutes left in the third quarter. But the guys from Manitoba come back and said, not so fast.
So interesting number here, looking down on my stat sheet. In the first half, despite all those turnovers, 13 from Manitoba, 10 from Nova Scotia, Manitoba's only scored 7 points on the fast break, and Nova Scotia's only scored 4. So not making those turnovers count, creating easy scoring opportunities off of them. We talked about some of the missed layups. We'll see if those go down this quarter. And Dela Cruz getting his offense going, knocks down the mid-ranger.
Dela Cruz is quite the ball handler and clearly a good shooter.
And drive inside, just took absolute power to get that one to the rim.
The game started with a flurry. The quarter started with a flurry, 40-40. And now we've got 11 points already in the first 2 minutes, so team scoring. Dela Cruz again.
And that's out of bounds off of Nova Scotia. So you were right in the first half. Nova Scotia did not have a lead. Massive rejection. Going the other way now, Nova Scotia all the way to the cup and one. Big play here for Nova Scotia.
And for only the second time this game, Nova Scotia leads, but they lead and have a chance to stretch it to 2.
And that is the third foul on Michael Adebayi. Manitoba's going to be looking for a sub for him. Offensive rebound, puts it back up. Fight for the board. Going the other way now, Manitoba on the break. Dela Cruz stopped on his way to the rim and grabbed by Nova Scotia.
Serious action going along here. A lot of fun, reminiscent of the...
Oh, big splash there.
Reminiscent of the game we did just before this. This one's got just as much action and just as much excitement. 50-46. 4-point lead, largest lead for Nova Scotia this game. Miscue on the pass. Nova Scotia coming back. No numbers, but they're going to try and create some.
Another three on the way. Does it go? No. Great contest there from Manitoba, able to bother that shot. Now they're going to try a three of their own. Offensive rebound. Oh, major hook there.
Yeah.
Got him with that left hand.
Trying to go around him, certainly an offensive foul. The only one the Manitoba coach, you know, he watched it unfold. He kind of has to reluctantly accept that as truth. So Nova Scotia clearly has the momentum behind them. Just a real joy to watch these guys play. So much discipline.
Great pass and the slam dunk, and he comes down hard, but he is good. Huge play there from McVicker.
They're trying to call a timeout.
Huge play. The slam dunk.
How many dunks have we seen tonight? Well, that I think is the third. Or is it the second?
I believe it's the second dunk first this game. But huge slam, was able, that pass just by the defender's hands. But that left McVicker wide open for the slam, and he made the 2 points count with some emphasis. 6-point lead now. Thankfully, McVicker came down okay. He
landed on one of the defenders, kind of in the midsection, so it looked like his feet were sort of knocked out from underneath him, but he did manage to get back up the floor, and he looks just fine.
I think he's pretty happy right now, feeling pretty good. And you've got the Nova Scotia U17 team there, baseline, and they're amplifying that run with their own excitement. So really making for an exciting atmosphere here, but Manitoba, don't expect them to take this one lying down. They've had an answer for most of what Nova Scotia has been able to do up until this point.
No question, Manitoba, as we've made comments back and forth already during this game, extremely well-disciplined team, making really good plays. They're not going to fall out of this one by any means. They'll have an answer.
Manitoba now trying to create something in the half court. Sima has been their answer. Puts up the floater. That doesn't go. Rebound by McVicker. He's able to get it to a guard.
McVicker starting to be a force out there. Dunk, defensive rebound.
And going at it again, and one for McVicker.
Kind of looks like a bit of a casual player out there when you first take a look at him, but man, that kid's involved.
Chance for an and one here. Huge quarter from Nova Scotia.
Yep, outscored their opponents 15-6 so far this quarter, and there's 6:11 left, believe that or not. So they've scored 15 points in under 4 minutes. Manitoba kind of settling for an outside shot. Last time they came down, were in a half-court offense, just weren't successful.
Nice spin move there, sets up a three, and that one almost rattles in. McVicker hits it off. And another three-pointer up. That one doesn't go.
That's offensive.
Foul inside. We'll see who that's against. Referees are going to come together, make sure they have the same call on this one.
Might be Malloy.
And you're right. Malloy picking up the foul.
He was a little too wide open for that rebound.
With the guy on the ground there, yeah. You knew there was something a little suspicious. Referees agreed.
No arguments from the from the Nova Scotia coaching staff.
You know when the team bench is right there seeing it and they don't make a complaint that it's probably an accurate call. Big board there, puts it back up, and one of their own. Manitoba fighting back here. Ryan Luke works hard for the board and finishes it with strength. And Malloy picking up another foul there.
Yeah, that's going to be trouble for Malloy. That's going to be his third foul, and we've got a third of the game left at least. That's okay. McVicker will pick up where Malloy left off. But Manitoba at the line, stopping the clock, giving themselves a chance for a breather.
And Luke battling for his own board. Going to be a jump ball. And so ball back to Nova Scotia. See if Manitoba, they did a good job at getting some stops and running in transition with it. And that one finds its way in. Those layups that had been missing earlier, now break disrupted by a tip pass. Fight for the ball. And the frantic pace here.
Nova Scotia coaches calming down their players.
And Dela
Look
Cruz.
At that. This Dela Cruz, he's an incredible player. Just a really great ball handler, has a good shooting touch and a great IQ to get open where getting open in the post position at his size can't be easy. He finds a way.
Ball up. Good box out there.
That was a settled for shot. They had a better opportunity than that.
Dela Cruz now finds his teammate. Wide open three-point look off the side of the rim. Those are shots you got to convert.
Nova Scotia starting to go a little bit deeper in the bench now.
.427 left to go.
Dave Davignon getting his first minutes that I can tell. He played early in the first half.
Manitoba defense trying to prevent this run. And good stop there. Dela Cruz taking it the other way.
They got to guard Dela Cruz. This kid can shoot.
Coming off the screen. Nice pass inside, but tipped off. Held on to three-pointer. That one doesn't go.
Nova Scotia ends up with that ball.
Manitoba not converting on some good looks here.
That was a kick ball.
And two players diving for the ball.
It's going to be Manitoba ball.
It's their coaches. You love to see that. Hard work and hustle makes a big difference at this level. We know both teams are incredibly talented. Comes down to going that extra step, that extra mile, and
yeah, sometimes there are teams that that just have an incredible advantage with talent. We've talked a lot about the Quebec team that's here. That there's three guys on that team that have D1 prospects. So there's a certain amount of disparity that are going to be between them and some of the other U17 teams. But then you got two teams like this that look very equally matched in talent and skill, yet it's going to be about who works the hardest and who just gets after it the most. And you see that in basketball, you see that in tennis, you see that in all kinds of sports, that these equally matched players, that who just gets after it. And so far, both teams have shown that they are going to get after it.
Rebound by Nova Scotia, 6-point game. Three-pointer on the way. Doesn't go. Rebound collected and works out as a save.
So Manitoba kind of gaining a little momentum back here.
Great pass there. Play finished off nicely.
It's a 9-point lead down to 4. Manitoba, we said it, we're not going to give up. We're not going to watch this game fall away from them. It's setting it up for a really interesting fourth quarter.
McVicker now going inside again. Doesn't get that one, and a great rebound to collect.
Yeah, he had double coverage, played a little one-on-one ball there. It might have been wiser for one of his teammates to get involved.
And Dela Cruz, rare mid-range miss for him. Sneaky pass inside, picked off.
By who?
Going the other way now. Had to lay it in with his left on the right side, but made it work.
We're at a 2-point game, and look at the defense that Manitoba's throwing at Nova Scotia right now.
And Manitoba just rips that ball away. And now that's going to be called on a foul. Great job by Zarek Menard. Just grabbing that ball and getting his team the possession. Now they're going to have a chance to tie this ball game back up. So 9-0 run, I believe, here from Manitoba. Sorry, no 7-2 run? I don't know. Math has never been my strong suit.
It's
Let's just...
It's a 7-0 run, but...
7-0 run. That's, yeah, just...
If he hits this, it's 8-0. And he didn't, so it's...
But offensive board and 2 points.
That's
tie game.
That's a 9-0 run. So you, again, were right.
It was my foresight that came in handy.
Yes.
Under 2 minutes to go here. And just like when we started this half, it's tied up. Drive to the rim, met with all sorts of opposition, and that's going to be a foul. A little bit too much contact for the referee's liking on that one. Jalen Janes at the free throw line.
It's all of a sudden eerily quiet in here.
Missed his first 2 in the first half, but knocks down that first one. And rare air ball on that free throw.
Oh, his U17 teammates were walking across the floor with pizza. Might have caused a little distraction to the shooter.
Manitoba now. Great job at getting within the defense there.
Nova Scotia with a rare opportunity for a little bit of sloppy defense there. Manitoba didn't do anything special. They just dribbled the ball to the rim.
Tessima at the line has been having a great game here for Manitoba. Truly one of their young star players. And he goes 1 of 2 from the line. McVicker picks up the board, and Nova Scotia going the other way now. Quick transition. And so fast up ahead, they were able to get the easy 2.
Yep, so Nova Scotia clings to a 2-point lead, 1:28 left in the third quarter, setting this up for, well, 2 things, a really great fourth and a high-scoring game.
Now, once again, going the other way, this time fouled.
Good decision on the offensive player's part. Just go hard at it. They're out of place. They're not in front of you. They're likely going to foul you. Both teams in the bonus. Great venue here at the University of New Brunswick, the oldest university in Canada.
There you go. What better place to have some basketball? Great facilities here, downstairs and upstairs.
The new Richard J. Curry Center attached with the new kinesiology wing. State of the art for the country. Well, nice to showcase this to folks from other parts of the country.
Drive to the rim, cut off. Going back in, it tried to put up a tough reverse block, but he gets the ball back, and
McVicker is just packing the stat sheet tonight.
Nova Scotia now chance to extend their lead. And great drive there.
So Nova Scotia's changed their strategy just a bit, and they've decided in this third quarter to get that ball inside and quite frankly, dribble the ball inside. They've drawn a lot of fouls on the Manitoba kids. That's a third foul on that number 2.
So Zarek Menard picking up his third foul. Kurt Klein at the free throw line. Knocking down his first, so 5-point lead, chance to make it 6. Create a little bit of separation between them and Manitoba.
It's been a really good quarter for Nova Scotia. Let's see if they can hang on to this momentum. Finishing the quarter will be critical for Manitoba to get a couple of buckets or at least one. I think they'd be looking for a 2-for-1. 15 seconds left on the shot clock.
Veracruz now.
A lot of dribbling.
Inside. Nice fake there. Fight for the ball, and Nova Scotia comes up with it. Shot clock off.
Critical possession for Nova Scotia. They're going to hold for the last.
Seconds winding down, under 9 now. Kicked out. Klein trying to get to the rim, and that goes out. 2.5 seconds left. Clock stopped for Manitoba. Chance at one final shot before we go to the fourth.
I was sort of expecting an outside shot from
Dela Cruz heaves it, and that does not go. That ends quarter number 3. Nova Scotia leads Manitoba 64-58.
24 points for Nova Scotia that quarter, 18 for Manitoba, so outscored them by 6. Both teams struggled to score the last few minutes of that quarter. Nonetheless, anyone's game.
It's been an exciting one so far. Remember, you can check in on Twitter if you'd like, at Phil Drost, PhilDrost. Let me know who you're cheering for, where you're watching from, what you think of the game so far, all that fun stuff. We love hearing from you. Heard from a few, from a Winnipeg fan and a Nova Scotia fan already.
So that's 1-1.
1-1. The Twitter score sheet says 1-1.
Yep.
Who will win?
Who will win
battle?
The Twitter battle between Nova Scotia
One for the ages.
and Manitoba.
But really, though, this game has been just another exciting game here at this national tournament. You know, sometimes, as you mentioned earlier, there's going to be some skill disparities, but not here, not even a little bit. Both teams very evenly matched, and it's been an exciting one so far. Chance to look at some of the statistics from that first, from 3 quarters through here. Tacima, 17 points, leading all scorers this game. Great game from Kurt Klein of Nova Scotia. He's got 15 points and 11 rebounds. And we talked about Braden McVicker. He has 13 points and 8 boards. And as you said, stuffing the stat sheet, 2 block shots and 3 steals, making an impact everywhere. And we're ready to resume here at the Curry Center.
So the score here is 64-58 for Nova Scotia. Twitter feed score is 1-1. And we're ready to get started. Clock is set. Ball is in.
Quarterfinal game here. The playoffs have begun. And an and one. Klein continues to rack up the bucket, 17 points now. He's a plus 14 on the court. He's been contributing to winning.
And he's been making those critical drives to the basket, drawing those fouls on Manitoba. He just is so strong.
Well, you said it. This will be his 11th and 12th free throws of the game.
I think he only gets one.
Oh, yeah, that is how it works for an and one. Thank you for reminding me. That will be his 11th free throw of the game. And he is 10 of 11, so shooting it very efficiently.
So they pushed that lead to 9, which is critical for Nova Scotia. A good way to start the quarter.
And Malloy back on the court.
Gets fouled from behind. Ball goes back to Nova Scotia.
Nine-point lead for NS. That foul.
That's his 4th.
Going on Michael Adebayi, as you said there, his 4th. So he's going to have to be careful staying on the court for now. Three-pointer after the ball fake. Just a little bit rushed on that one. Right idea, got himself open with the fake. Besseman now. And all sorts of Nova Scotia defenders there. Malloy just not letting anyone touch that basketball.
Refs letting them play a little bit inside.
Great feed inside, got some contact, but like you said, refs letting it go.
Yeah, lots of
both
contact
ways.
there.
Ball into the corner to Dela Cruz. And a bit of a struggles here for Manitoba. A little frantic, a little disorganized.
Yep, looking like they're playing a little bit desperation ball, and there's no need of that. 8:29 left, only down 11, or at 9, sorry. They have the ball back, chance to cut it to, 6.
And great hands there. Eight minutes now. Looking to get that ball inside. And they're calling that backcourt violation.
Again, one of those calls again, right? You think, did the defender cause that ball to go over into the backcourt? Oftentimes when they do,
I think they were saying it was off of the Nova Scotia player's foot.
Right, okay.
And the ref being very close. Got a good look at that one. But Manitoba trying to find some rhythm here and not finding it there. The bigs of Nova Scotia making that interior so hard to score on.
They've shut down the scoring of Manitoba this quarter. It's not been easy.
Big three here, and that's good. McVicker having a huge game for his province.
Representing well.
Once again, stopped inside. Had to kick it out. A bit of congestion there.
McVicker's pushing him way too hard.
So ball staying with Manitoba on that foul. Simo now for three. Needed that one. Would have been big for them. Fight for the boards.
Boy, they're not calling anything down underneath.
And Dela Cruz ends up with it. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Hands it off, puts it up, but way too high. And Nova Scotia comes up with it.
Just shutting down any type of scoring that Manitoba is trying to do. And right now, Manitoba looks unsure of themselves. They're not willing to take risks.
Worked a lot for that. Blocked on the second attempt. And Manitoba comes up with it. Going the other way now. Drive to the rim, flips it up.
What are they going to call?
Shooting two, that's going to be a blocking foul, and his fourth.
Yeah, now the clock starts to become Manitoba's enemy. I know they're only down 12, 6:38 left, but right now Nova Scotia has them locked down and have had them locked down for the whole quarter.
Brendan Amoya at the free throw line. And he knocks down the second.
So Nova Scotia should not be in a hurry to score here. They should obviously not wait too long, but they have the luxury of choosing good scoring opportunities.
Tough look for McVicker. Sema trying to get the ball inside. Looks like he bounced that one off his foot.
He did. Boy, there's a lot of contact in this game right now.
People are going to be walking away with a few bruises, that's for sure. And a big and one. Kirk Klein continues to put up buckets.
Has everything to do with his work ethic and his willingness to just grind it out in the paint. He just doesn't give up on plays. That's 5 fouls on number 13.
So Michael Adebayo going to have to end his evening here.
Disappointing to leave a game that's been this close and this competitive all the way through.
And Nova Scotia just putting the clamps on Manitoba this quarter.
Yeah, 14-point lead, 5:58 left. Going to be tough for Manitoba, again, especially because they've just struggled to score this quarter. Travel.
Foul is what the refs are calling.
They're a lot closer than I am.
De La Cruz with it.
Manitoba has to score on this possession.
Puts it up. What a tough shot, but gets it to go.
I like that kid.
On the run now. Wide open three-point look. Had lots of time, and he lands it.
Nova Scotia just really gonna play this game hard to the end. Manitoba just struggling to score. Where in the first half they had no trouble getting to the rim. They were playing sort of a great inside game. Now it's just a challenge for them to even get the ball in the air. They got 5:20 to turn this around, down 15. They're at the line, so can cut it to 13.
And a little bit of confusion on the score clock. Just getting the fouls figured out here. Fight for the board. And Nova Scotia comes up with it.
So on the clock, they have number 5 has 5 fouls. I find that hard to comprehend at this point.
Yeah, they say they have it wrong on the board. He has 4 fouls.
Okay.
They're not able to correct it, it seems, but yeah, he is not fouled out, which is great news for Nova Scotia fans. De La Cruz steps back, pulls it up, and drains the triple. He's not afraid of anything.
That's timely. If Nova Scotia can get stopped here, if Manitoba can get a couple of stops in a row, change that momentum, this game could go the other way.
Ball moving around here. They're going to look to get it inside. And De La Cruz nabs it up. He's on the break, and he gets stopped, and that's going to go the other way.
A competitor through and through, this De La Cruz.
4:33. And 4:25 left in the quarter. Foul on Manitoba. And 12-point lead here for Nova Scotia.
Next 90 seconds are going to be critical.
And big take there. Malloy, chance at the free throw line. He's been having a strong game for them, just been reliable. And an intimidating presence inside. Can't get the first one to go. Chance to extend the lead to 13, and he does. 4:23 left. De La Cruz handling it. Manitoba fighting for its playoff life here. De La Cruz getting inside, putting it up, doesn't go. Nova Scotia with it. And taken away now, turnover, going the other way, and able to just stop himself, puts it up, back up, another offensive board, and that's 2 points.
Next 45 seconds are critical for Manitoba. They have to get a stop and a score here.
Gets the stop there.
There's the stop.
So 3:34 left, 11-point game. Manitoba not out of it yet, but definitely running out of time. Seaman now, he takes the mid-range shot. Good look. Doesn't get it. Fight for the boards. De La Cruz picks it up.
De La Cruz is playing with some serious intensity.
He doesn't want to lose, I'll tell you that much. And shot clock violation.
Oh my word.
He hits that shot, but doesn't matter. Won't even count as an attempt.
That would have cut it to 8, which is really where they needed to be.
Time winding down here at the Richard J. Curry Center. Almost picks that pass off. Ball in the corner. Swung around and a travel. A little stutter step there.
Feel like a timeout coming.
And you would be right, Manitoba wanting to talk things over as we go into this final stretch. Still a chance for their team to come back here. Basketball, as we say about 100 times a broadcast, is a game of runs. Still lots of opportunity, and once you get that momentum, it can be hard to stop, but you got to get it. And you can get all these stops, but if you don't score, it doesn't make a difference. And Nova Scotia's defense has made things very tough on Manitoba.
What was the score that Manitoba had to enter this quarter?
The score was 64-58, I do believe.
Yeah, so that would mean that this quarter Manitoba's only scored 8 points, which is very anemic.
Yep. But still time. And just one shot going down can sometimes change
Agreed.
the entire flow.
Yeah, and look, these Manitoba kids can do it.
Yep. But the Nova Scotia defense has been so tough on them. Creating shot clock violations, turnovers, tough shots. Let's see what they draw up here.
Yeah, he's had a timeout. There should be a play. Shouldn't be a lot of dribbling going on.
Three-pointer doesn't go. Put back, right back up and in. Single-digit game, 9 points. Can they get a stop?
Oh, no, you don't want to reach in.
Looking for that double team, and it worked. Creating that panic, causing the turnover. Exactly what they wanted.
Nova Scotia parents on the other side of the gym are pacing back and forth.
You've been there before.
Hang on, hang on.
Dela Cruz now trying to free himself. Three-pointer, they drew that one up. That one just off the side of the rim.
It looked like it was going to go down from here.
It did. And great defense there. But that one goes down, and 11-point game with under 2 left and an easy pickoff. Lots of hands there. Going the other way now.
Look at Dela Cruz play. Wow.
Tough layup and misses that one, and time.
The big enemy of Manitoba now.
Not much of it left.
Nova Scotia hasn't been able to score, but neither has Manitoba.
And the Manitoba head coach, very frustrated, felt that the rolling over there constituted a travel.
And sometimes they do call that a travel.
Sometimes they do.
The Nova Scotia parents are pacing a little less, except I see one dad over there. He's got his hands up to his face and is pacing for the rest of them. So maybe they've assigned him to be the pacer.
Designated pacer.
Designated pacer.
1:17 left. Nova Scotia in good position. Just have to be secure in this final minute. Tough three. Doesn't go, and McVicker pulls down the board. That might seal it. And over and back, caught it, and just took that one step forward, one step behind the line, just as a kind of a reaction to catching the ball. Still has momentum going that way. Tough call there, but the right one. So 54 seconds left, 11-point lead. Manitoba looking for a miracle.
Well, there's two. Clock should stop. It does. A little late.
And picked off. Manitoba ball now. Dela Cruz fakes it.
Someone's got to
passes
shoot that
around.
basketball.
Yep. And great defense there from Nova Scotia in what was very much a scramble.
Timeout, Nova Scotia. Going to talk about this last 35 seconds. Not a big risk here at 9 points, but he's got a timeout. I didn't coach much over the years. I coached a little, but what I didn't like to do was leave timeouts on the table.
Why bother?
I felt like it was an embarrassment to leave the timeouts on the table.
I don't know if embarrassment would be the word, but definitely wasteful.
Wasteful.
And in today's society, you know, we're all about reusing, reducing, recycling, and if you're leaving a timeout there, that's going to waste.
It's going to waste. You can't never get it back.
That's what people mean about reducing waste, right?
No.
Oh. Well, I got some work to do then.
So is the score still 1-1 on the Twitter feed? Nova Scotia 1, Manitoba 1.
Looks like that is where it might stay. I'm going to be honest. I think this game has been a little too exciting to tweet at.
Right.
You know, you don't want to take the time away to type on your phone when you just want to see what happens in this game. And I know it says that on the score clock there that Nova Scotia is up by 9, and if that's how it ends, people should understand, and if they watch this, they'll understand that this game was a lot closer than 9 points would say. Nova Scotia just trying to hold on to it here. They don't have to score by any means.
They might, though.
They might, and they do. 11-point lead now. Manitoba going the other way and fast as they can, but unable to get it to go, and that should seal it. And that's going to be a foul they had to call. Going to be some free throws. But big performance here from Nova Scotia, holding on, strengthening the defense as the game went on, and they're going to be a tough matchup for the winner of Quebec and Newfoundland. That game happening tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Are we calling that one?
I'm not sure if we are. I'd have to double check our schedule, but we might be. We just might be. So time winding down here. Under 6, Dela Cruz. They're going to take a 3 to end it. Splashes it home. That's the second time we've done 2 games today, and both at the end of the game we've seen a 3 go down for the opposing team, but Nova Scotia comes away with the 82-73 victory. They move on to play the winners of Newfoundland and Labrador versus Quebec. We'll be back tomorrow for some more fun basketball. Glad you could join us, and have a great evening.
Good night, folks.
Stewart.